the security system.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I only got hit once.
Yeah.
It was really hard, but I only got hit once. Me personally, everybody else that I was with was not doing well.
Yeah.
I haven't stopped playing Farmville.
Okay, I stopped playing Farmville.
To summarize real quickly what the fights were, essentially one was something of a Hydra situation with just a fuck ton of shadows, and they would be constantly respawning at double the rate that you murdered them at. Fortunately, there was a pretty early intelligence check made by Mr. Verix that allowed for Shalon to figure out the means to scare away the unmade. After a decent amount of dangerous flailing of a giant shard blade chain weapon, you guys were able to hold off long enough for Shalon to scare away in Shipper and get right on and going. On the other side, you guys were up against a security system, and a lot of blasts started happening. It got a decent amount of lucky rolls as far as number one, scanning or regaining its central, what do you call it? Central destruction unit, and then other lucky rolls on reading your memories and taking certain attributes from previous foes. At the end, the creature was killed. However, it did take two of you guys damn near dying.
Yeah.
Saw the other side.
Except for the leader.
I'm gonna kill him.
No witnesses? Are you gonna be the sole survivor?
Maybe.
You cannot defeat my shadow clone jutsu.
In any case, you, after some death saving throws, you're able to keep Raphael out of the red, as it were, as Garrick came up a turn before and was able to pump healing into y'all motherfuckers. Yeah.
Oh, and session ended with me telling Evan what the count was.
Yes.
Because he fucking straight left after that.
You beating the fuck out of each other. But yeah, so...
Remember, Evan, you keep pushing buttons. I got numbers.
This feels like thermal vision.
Hey, Marshall, the sooner you accept I'm the leader, the sooner...
Yeah, the first row was 55 nat ones. I wonder what the second row added on top of that was.
In any case, after having been injected from the demiplane, you all were in a tunnel and looking at a decent amount of the quote-unquote Voidbringers, otherwise known as Parshmen, looking down at you. A couple of the little kids kind of clinging on as they're kind of beginning to walk by.
Well, that was a thing. What the fuck did we get back
These
to?
are dusty.
They sit at my desk all the time.
All right, now we have to do what we're supposed to do. No more napping. Let's go find Kaladin.
I'm gonna take a nap.
I deeply feel that we should take a nap.
Coughs
No
up a
more
lung
napping.
as well as 4 teeth. I need a nap. I have 1 HP.
Same. Hey, how strong are you?
No, you have
Luis?
33 because you got a
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
health.
How strong are
Yeah.
you, Luis? We could try and just have Garrick go and take a quick little power nap while
No,
we carry him into.
I need 8 hours,
cave.
and you guys cannot carry me.
I feel like we could carry you. I only have a -1 to my strength. I feel like we could carry you.
Technically, you could keep going as long as you have Stormlight.
I have Stormlight.
Running low.
If you fall asleep and we
Yeah,
leave
well,
on our
I
back,
could still
we can-
recharge you, but
can
it's going to
continue.
cost you big time because it costs me big time.
Not going to cost me anything. I'm not asking you for shit.
Well,
have
all
our-
right then.
I think that we need just a couple moments to catch our breath and come up with a plan.
Pulls out bedroll, goes next to bushes,
Because-
sleeps for 8 hours.
I don't know about you, Luis, but my arms can't lift that
While
side.
this is going on, since Garrick doesn't need it, I will sacrifice myself to recharge mine and Raphael's Stormlight.
Boy.
It's going to charge
Okay.
you, Garrick. Here, Raphael, I'll do it for free.
How-
You
wait,
can't
how does
charge
that work?
their Stormlight.
You're saying you were going to charge me?
Yeah, because you won't admit I'm the leader.
I thought that we were all the leader and we were passing the title around. Was that not what was happening?
All right, what do I have to roll for this? Because this is one of my hours while we wait for his 8-hour nap.
Wisdom saving throw.
Sorry, buddy. If I had stronger arms, I would carry you.
I am the biggest and bulkiest out of the 4 of us.
Fortunately,
All
I
3 of
chose
us.
the twink class, so.
Congratulations. This time, instead of screams, you hear words.
Oh, good.
Oh, okay.
That's good.
Is that good though? Is it really?
Decimation, chaos, destruction, decimation, chaos, destruction, decimation, chaos, destruction, decimation, chaos, destruction, decimation, chaos, destruction. As it ramps up, it goes faster and faster and faster. Another wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh, come on. You can
I
make that.
forgot there's 2 of them.
Evan,
That's
Evan,
not
I
gonna
want to be
work.
clear here. I'm rooting against Luis, but I'm rooting for you.
Let's see here. What is it? D8, I believe.
Oh, wait. I'll be right back. I'm
Yeah.
gonna grab my little laptop.
I don't know why it's a D8, but yeah.
Oh no, it's a D6. Never mind.
What are you chewing on down there? Oh, you found a piece of a French fry.
Which bye?
A day ago. You can have that. That's fine.
D6, sir.
No, I did, but it hurts.
Mm.
It's like a
Middling.
Congrats. You have another one knocked off your constitution.
pool.
Oh, yeah. I see how that's set up now.
Right? The laws of attraction.
And
All
you're
right, well, at
actually
least I
being-
didn't lose a plus this time.
Oh, was it a minus already?
All right, so I get all my shit back into Stormlight. That's 16, or 13 times 5.
Yeah,
is
all-
650.
And all you see is just that creature's terrible face just burning into your eyes as you attempt
old
to
man.
open up this this realm to power.
All right. Well, I'm gonna keep the noises to myself, and then for the remainder of this time, I am going to go ahead and try and delicately stack rocks on top of Garrick while he's sleeping.
Sleight of hand. All right. What's your passive perception then, Garrick?
While you're sleeping.
Passive perception is 11.
Yep. You get a shit ton of rocks on him. You feel like if you put any more on him, you're definitely going to be pushing your luck, but
Okay.
I will
fine.
say, the moment you put a rock on me, my arm juts out just out of pure reflex to punch forward, but it misses, obviously.
You mean like how you do when you actually sleep?
Yes, exactly.
alrighty. Well, you guys
So
get
many
yourself
rocks.
a long rest on the other side of the world.
One sec. I'm getting it open.
Oh,
for
and I
myself.
do get my short rest.
Before you say important stuff.
Are we gonna get the long rest, or should I wait?
You took a long rest.
I'm
took
asking
a
if I'm
short
still gonna
rest
get my
because
long
that's how I
rest.
have to use my thing.
Or should I wait?
What's our campaign goal?
That's fine. Stormlight Archive.
I need the actor.
39.
Stormlight.
Nice. I'm almost full health.
Cool. And yes, you did get your long rest.
Notes. Okay. So session.
Alrighty. Other two, Mr. Verix, Mr. Lull. As you look out, you see what looks like a massive column that goes through the middle of this room. It's an interesting room just in general. There appear to be these interesting kind of statues, or rather facades, these sculptures that are all alongside the walls. And each one has its own little gemstone to them, whereas the rest of Uruthiru you find kind of has these strange walls with these strata lines that go through them, various different gems. And then in the very center of this, you'll see what appears to be a column made up of thousands upon thousands of gems, all cut in very specific ways.
Does it look like something would happen if I removed one of those gems?
You want to try?
I think I do want to try.
Okay.
But cautiously, in a sense that if something happens, I put it back.
Do an
You,
investigation first.
You go up and you try to yank it off, and you're finding that it's really not wanting to budge at all. As you do, roll an Arcana check.
Oh, man.
Okay. You're feeling an interesting resonance between this and then the rest of the tower, but you're not really getting too much else from it.
Ugh.
What do?
Could I do an investigation on it to see if I see like a switch or a button or writing
Sure.
or anything or like a scripture?
Mhm. Okay. So giving it a good look around. As you're kind of thinking through, you're like, okay, well, what's going on here? You start thinking about Uruthiru in general. There was a lot of what you would describe as Fabrial-based functionality before that is not currently here. Like there are fields out in the back that would normally allow for crop growth. However, there hasn't been any ability to actually grow anything. There are lifts that you had to retrofit with Stormlight to be able to actually get to work. There are various different pipelines, both for air and water, that aren't currently functional. That should be. There's just a lot of things that aren't working, and this kind of going off of your general knowledge of the area, this feels like kind of the center of Uruthiru in a way.
So everything kind of comes from here.
That's kind of what you're feeling at the moment.
All the shit that's not working this is the source.
I always got the feeling from James that he.
Well, how do we turn it on?
Can she roll an Arcana check?
Sure. Ooh,
God damn
she
it,
seems
we-
out of it.
Oh.
Yeah. Natural one, no love.
Does she seem like she's okay though?
She seems all right. Just intense battle. You don't know what she saw when she went into the body.
All right, well, I'm just gonna go ask her if she is okay.
You see her kind of blankly look up at you and then shake her head and then nod.
Would you like to sit down?
Oh, she already is.
Oh, okay. Does she want some food or some water?
I'm okay. I just give me a minute to think as she pulls out a sketch pad and starts just writing away.
Can our arcanically inclined Pelinar also roll an Arcana check? Or can we just try again?
I'll roll for him. Let's see.
Stupid with Arcana.
That's a natural 4, and I'm pretty sure he has a -1.
Sweet God. All right. Well, okay. Well, fuck me. All right, lol. I'm out of ideas.
You are muted, sir.
I think we should take this to Dalinar. Let him know what's going on.
Hey, you know what? I like that idea.
Alright.
Do we have a way to get back?
You guys failed to get in here, so
I know.
Can we start trying to find an exit, like down this way, the bottom?
sure.
Cool. Yeah, then we go onward and potentially downward.
Damn, I didn't even realize this went down so fucking far. Holy shit.
Alrighty. So you get over here, you see a large set of stone or will look like metal doors. And then off to the left-hand side, there appears to be kind of a smaller tunnel that maybe you could fit through.
Do the doors look like they would open?
They seem old, but theoretically functional.
Use my huge muscles to try and push it open.
All right, strength check. Alrighty. You will see Varix walk up, big muscle man, as he starts pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and nothing budging.
Well, this door is jammed.
Well, I guess I'll try to take the path and see if something's on the other side blocking it.
Before you do, go ahead, both of y'all, roll a perception check.
Nice.
Lol, Varix, both. As you're looking at this door, it is made of a strange metal, and you actually kind of recognize its sheen. It's the same one that you saw in the Oath Gate when you guys were on the Shattered Plains.
That gold one?
It was the one that was in the center of the Oath Gate. Specifically the one that you put your shard blade into and it molded around it.
Oh, shit. All right, well, I'm going to attempt to do the same thing.
All right.
Let's whip it out.
You summon Appy and begin
Appy.
to push him. Hello.
So,
You begin to push him into the wall itself, and you'll watch as it kind of molds and then locks in place.
turn it.
You see your door has a little bit of give. The one to the side of you does not.
Oh,
I will join him in this endeavor.
Are you ready? You wallow your way on up, put your blade in as well, and you'll feel the doors unlock.
oh man, we're geniuses. Lego.
There. As you go out.
Yeah, baby.
As you go out, you'll see, more of the blood.
I was like, God, there's just blood fucking everywhere.
Yeah. It seems that all the murders dragged back a certain degree of bloodiness about them.
It's like a rock. Somebody got smashed right there. Somebody died on this light, probably.
No, so if you remember correctly, the whatever this unmade was, it was copying murders that it happened in Uruthiru, and seemed to be tracking back a decent amount of the blood from each one.
Hopefully this solved our murder mystery.
What was it called? An unmade?
Unmade, yes. There are, I believe, 9 unmade, 10 unmade.
There's beds over here.
Yep, and you will go ahead and pop to the other side, and you'll run into another door.
God damn it.
Hey man, at least you guys got a dungeon. We just got straight thrown into a fight.
You guys fought like a celestial alarm clock or just an alarm system or something.
Yeah, security system.
We fought a ring doorbell. Thank you.
It's
We
like
we fought this world's equivalent of a ring doorbell. Yeah. I like that
Intruder
better.
alert.
Intruder alert. Intruder alert. Destruction imminent.
Yeah, that sucks. All right. Well, since we're super geniuses, I guess I'll try the shard blade again. Lol.
Yep. Same shit. Alrighty. Pop another
Okay.
door open.
So
Walk
smart.
on through. You see what look like some remnants, recent remnants of people trying to kind of break their way into this area with little success.
Rations or anything we can pick up?
Off to the side, you see just what look like some workers, bedroll, some. Yeah, that's about it.
No, that's useless. Let's go.
You begin making your way on out.
Making our
And
way
back
downtown.
into
Walking
Erythral
fast because I
in
know how. Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah.
Oh my eyes. Gosh, doesn't the screen have a dark mode?
All right. To Daenerys. Just kidding.
Yeah. So for all intents and purposes, by the way, you guys were so like this. This is the very top ish, right? You guys were about down in this area.
So we still didn't make it to the bottom.
Because they're just catacombs. I always forget about that. They're just deep in the Erythrian catacombs.
Catacomb.
I
In any case,
totally
you'll
forgot. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
you will eventually make your way up to the audience chamber, and as you walk in, there's something that kind of strikes you that hadn't before. The massive window at the end of it was it faces east, which is the direction that the storms come in from. It's kind of a as you're thinking about it, you're like, man, it's kind of a either A, arrogant, or B, very, very confident statement about the way of the world, that Uruthiru and the Knights Radiant were above everything to put something so fragile against the direction of a storm. But yeah,
They be
in any
flexing.
case, yeah. As you all walk in, you'll see Dalinar going about his consulting for his daily tasks. What do?
I'm gonna push Varix forward.
Oh, dick.
You see, as he stumbles forward, you see Dalinar's eyes kind of go up from something that he was examining on the table. Oh, yes, soldier. Report.
All right. Pull my eyebrows off to the side there. So I don't know if you heard about some like murders happening, and it was like a murder would happen, and then like a copy of a murder would happen.
Yes, I believe Aladar was investigating last I heard.
Well, our group has bad luck, so we figured it out. And it was
Cool.
what? Did I know what that thing was called or no?
Yeah, it's an unmade.
Unmade.
Yeah, okay. I wasn't sure if I actually knew what that was, like as a character.
Mm-hmm.
We
Yeah,
ran
pretty much
into
everybody
an
knows what an unmade is.
unmade. It's what it is called.
See him blink a few times. There was an unmade in Urthiro.
Yeah, like way down.
And at this point, you'll see him look over to Navani, who will lean forward. What was it like? Did it have a shape, a form? Did it make you feel any different?
I mean, it looked like pure terror, and I guess I'll give a description of what it looked like.
All right. As you give as detailed of a description as you can manage, you'll see her kind of nodding along.
Did it make me feel any different?
Not particularly.
Okay, I was just curious. I was like, that was an odd question, kind of.
Well, it could be the red one, but considering that none of you went and had your emotions manipulated in any way, shape, or form, it sounds much more like Unshipur.
It's fucked up down there.
Can you repeat that? Maybe spell that?
Yeah, give me a second.
Because I know Jade's gonna ask for it, and I didn't even fucking
It's wunderbar.
Wunderbar.
So wunderbar. Yes. Oh, that's so wunderbar. Have you ever seen the shower room?
Oh,
It's wonderful. You get all
sorry.
clean.
Sefar. R-E-S-H.
What's the point? You just put in appliances.
Let me hear.
R-E-S-H-E-E-H-I-R.
You went too fast on that last half. Can you say that one more time?
R-E-S-H-E.
S-H-E. Okay.
P-H-I-R.
I-R. Okay.
Wunderbar.
Wunderbar.
Um,
Guten Tagen, Fräulein.
you may know her better as the Midnight Mother.
That is a name we've heard before.
Huh, that is familiar.
That is not.
No.
You're thinking of the Night Watcher / Mother.
Oh, fuck.
Yep.
Night Mother, that's
That
what I'm
is
thinking of.
exactly what I was thinking of.
The rectifier.
That bitch still haunts me. Okay.
Yeah.
And what is she?
An unmade.
That's the unmade.
Is that the unmade that they were hunting?
If the stories tell correctly, she has a strange yearning to try to understand humanity. I don't know why, but evidently it's the case.
Where's our she friend?
Shallan, she ducked off at some point.
Well, she killed it.
Did not kill it. Scared it off.
She scared it off.
Oh, good. I'll have to find and congratulate her. I'm sure she's had quite the endeavor. She's probably in her room by now.
Probably should get her a therapist and a cleanup crew down there ASAP.
Clean up one aisle that way.
The fuck's a therapist?
This world is way too far back for any kind of therapy. Look at the mental health of these soldiers. They don't give a fuck. This is Warhammer style. They throw us in because we are expendable, man.
That lady
Just
needs help.
Look at Kaladin. He's depressed as hell.
Or
God, Kaladin's the one that can use a therapist more than any of us.
Well, maybe Luis. He's still
No, I
carrying
still
around his
argue
dead brother,
Kaladin. Luis has
literally.
got his own technical therapy.
And another thing that goes. "Rah."
Yeah,
Nowhere is talking now.
one thing that constantly screams or says 3 words or
We're not
his
wrong.
long dead brother.
Kaladin is.
Eh.
Kaladin's a main character.
A day in
bro.
the life.
Day in the life.
We aren't.
why is this not charging?
Good. Well, suffice to say, I'm glad that it has been driven from our halls. Good work, soldiers.
There
Said
was
that you-
also
Hmm?
there was also this this odd orb. It had gems in it. The gems that couldn't be removed, but it looks like it might be the center of this whole place. I think if we get it fixed or running, this place should start working again.
Yeah, because it's definitely not working down there.
Interesting. Navani, I trust that you and your scholars, and you see Navani already halfway packed up. Yes, we will definitely take care of it as she starts making her way down.
Thank you.
Cleanup crew, don't forget that part.
All right. You'll see Dalinar look over at y'all. Solid work today, gentlemen. Go ahead and take the night off. I'll come back tomorrow. I'll have reports in order for you.
Okay.
You got it.
I would just like to note the stark contrast. Yeah, go ahead and take tonight off, guys. You deserve the rest. Meanwhile, you can keep going, Garrick. You only got 1 HP. You can keep fucking going.
I offered to carry.
Well, one of you completed your task. The other one is still fucking chasing a guy in a time-sensitive matter.
We get distracted easily.
Nightmares.
Oh, sweet Jesus, that's awesome. Oh, this guy's gonna hit the hay. I tired.
You go hit the hay. Will you do the same?
I'm gonna meditate first, then hit the hay.
All right. You go about your meditations. Other side of the world, 8
Ugh.
hours pass.
Fuck.
Gotta
Oh, it's
practice
all
your
real.
mantra.
I'm still here.
Wake up, it's nighttime.
I know.
We gotta go. I
Okay.
think Paladin's that way.
All right.
Oh.
In order to wake him up right at the very end, can I just throw one stone at the rest and knock them all over?
Yeah. Garrick, you'll suddenly hear as something falls onto the back of your hand. You're like, ow.
Oh god, it all is real. I'm still stuck here with you.
That's right, and I let you nap. Now we have to get up and go
What?
find Kaladin.
Too loud. I will move. No more.
Let's
No
go
more.
find Kaladin.
No more talking.
But you're talking right now.
I just start walking down the tunnel.
All right.
I'll follow Louise.
You start walking. Actually, neither of these you know where they are, so.
Making my way downtown, rapping fast. Faces past him, homebound.
There we go.
Ba-na-na-na-na-na.
Alrighty.
Need you.
So heading through the
Na-na-na-na-na-na.
now more valley than tunnel, you will eventually pass through the other side. What are y'all doing? You just following the path, or
Yeah, I assume so.
I'm following the path and trying to basically follow in the footprints of the Parshindi who walked in front of us.
okay?
'Cause they probably know where the Parshindi train is or
Hey, you're good.
caravan.
Your whole thing is like tracking, right?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you should lead then. As
That's
I know
right.
back at Garrick.
Lead it.
I'm already ahead of you by like 10 feet, just following him, quietly and groggily, just
You
staring
was
at the
still
footprint.
asleep. I let you go ahead of me.
Um,
Good leaders do sometimes.
Quiet. Too early to
As-
argue.
as you begin going, you will find that they're definitely a slow caravan, whatever way that the again, quote unquote, void bringers are going. You get about four-ish hours into the march, and you'll start to see from probably a good couple 100 feet out, what looks like since you guys left early in the morning, the beginnings of that Parshini group starting to get their way up again and head out.
See, no time lost.
Oi, Bashman, have you found the caravan yet?
You'll see a few of them turn around. No, we haven't. Keeping on
Oh,
going
you
this way,
haven't?
though.
All right. Well, do you know where they're headed in, well, the grand scheme of things?
We're feeling a big pull in this direction, so that's the way we're going.
You can feel them?
Yes.
Right. Can you tell if our friend is with them?
No.
Well, lead on then.
Okay. As you see them once again, like just generally kind of making their very slow, plodding march towards a direction as they're kind of eating apples, or a few some lavish grain here and there. Just the most regular people in the form of a terrifying void creature.
What do you think?
Are they nervous with us
Do you not
around?
remember what you and Louise did to them?
Yeah,
A bit, yeah.
no, that's fair.
But you are struck by how similar they are, especially especially you, Garrick, how similar they would be to like just your regular Alethi people. Except for, again, their outsides are these terrifying warrior creatures that have like big carapace and are super muscly.
Yep, but inside they're soft and cuddly, but also a little murdery. That being said, I mean, I'm not showing any malice. As far as I know, they were just a bunch of parchment that I needed to kill, and then never got that explained. So that they just seem fine now.
Good thing we already got our nap in.
Yeah.
You know, so they don't like slit our throats when we're sleeping.
It's okay. I have Stormlight and HP. I need to. I'll fight.
Not saying that, you know, there's pressures to shoot, but if you make a point to say, oh, these are innocent civilians, I'm going to think about that.
Ooh, close. All right. Anything else y'all are doing in the meantime?
Just following.
Following the trail.
I was going to say following the leader, and then I realized I didn't want to start that debate.
Nope. I think we're good.
Okay. You guys plod on for a solid, essentially 7-ish hours. I get a perception check at about hour 7.
Can we roll it for you?
I'm not going to. Why is your mouse so fucky?
Raphael, as you look over to the left, okay. That's a nice clear sky over there. You look over to the right. Oh, that's a high storm. Oh no.
Oh. I will point that out. Hey guys, I just figured, you know, maybe check that out. We should make haste.
Are we still with the parchment?
Yep.
Yeah. Problem with that, they don't really do that.
The
parchment?
Wasn't the high storm what affected them anyways?
All these like
It was the
washing
Everstorm.
poetry.
This is a regular high storm.
Oh. Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, well,
well, still not good, but better, I suppose.
maybe worse.
Bad do you... How bad does it look? Does it look like
Bad.
it's gonna hit
It
here
looks
and-
bad.
Shut up, bitch! I'm the one who saw it. Does it look like it's gonna be hitting us in like an hour or like 30 minutes or like the end of the night?
Looks like you got maybe an hour or two.
So no need to rush, you guys. But we have potentially an hour. Before it's every man for himself. I'm gonna scramble as fast as possible. I will use you as a footstool to hike myself up this stupid mountain. I might not be strong, but I am athletic.
There's no world we outrun a high storm. Just saying that now. That being said, anyone got anything for this?
You do have a city not too far away.
What was that? Oh, city?
Yep, the direction you're going in.
Fuck it.
I say that we book it as fast as possible. I mean, we were kind of already doing that, but
Yeah. Try to get the parchment. Well, parchment are just gonna get fucking murdered if they go to the city, though.
I just start heading off towards the city.
Okay.
I
As
say
you
would
as
just
you
do,
all
like,
start
the whole
making your way towards the city, you will start getting
Hang on,
close.
I believe we're not making our way towards the city. I believe we're making our way downtown.
Sure.
Walking fast.
In any case,
Faces past, and I'm homebound.
as you all get close, about 45 minutes will go by, and you'll start to get the beginnings part of the storm. You'll see some light rain kind of start to drizzle down, and winds start to whip pretty hard against you. When you're approaching, you see an interesting thing. It looks like there is kind of a large, open, fenced-in area that you think normally would have been used for something like maybe livestock or that sort of thing. and there are just what look like hundreds of humans in there, while the rest of the city appears to be occupied mostly by Parshmen, except for floating about 20 feet off the ground. You'll see about 3, what they look like Parshendi, but they're glowing with this strange kind of. It's a light that seems to draw in the light around it instead of glowing. And they have these long, kind of trailing trailing tendrils from the clothing that they have on. Just scraps of ribbon or cloth that go all the way down, but in the wind they seem quite ceremonial.
Jesus.
Well, this is not the worst news. Well, it might be for us. Well, let's find out.
As you all are running and seeing the high storm essentially just off to your side, you will suddenly see some sort of scuffle go on in front of the large pens of humans. And about a minute later, you'll see a extremely bright light come to life as Kaladin suddenly dashes into the air and begins engaging with what seem like the 3 Voidbringers up above.
Hey, we found Kaladin.
Well, that's even worse news.
What are you talking about? That's our whole mission.
Yeah, but that's what he's dealing with.
Should we go help him?
No, we should stand here and watch him fight alone. Yes, we should help him.
Didn't know that you added sarcasm to your personality. God, okay.
I've been dealing with Luis for 2 days.
More like I've been dealing with you.
You know what? I'm tired of it. I grab Luis and I throw him towards Kaladin as hard as I can. Not
Athletics
like
check.
I guess as I say towards Kaladin, I should say towards the Voidbringers.
Okay.
You're next.
You can't catch me, bitch. No. Don't do this.
Are the Voidbringers the bad guys?
Yeah.
Alright, well then let's just fucking start hacking.
That's why I was like, fuck it, dude. If we already see Kaladin fighting, I guess I should ask, how close are we? I'm gonna wait till we get closer.
You're a little bit out.
Let me know when I'm close enough, and then I'll finally snap.
Yeah, by the time you start getting pretty much there, the storm is nearly upon you, and again, the many humans that are just outside in nature are just locked in a pen.
Yeah, but fuck 'em. Fine, I
Well,
throw
now
Luis at
I'm
the
gonna run in there because I'm a hero. You can wait
know what?
here, Garrick, because I know you need
You know what,
another
Garrett?
nap. And I just
Garrett is
start
finally
running.
just gonna snap, and he's gonna be like, you know what, Luis? You want to be the hero so bad. Grabs him by just the scruff of his shirt. Go do it, big man. And I yeet him straight towards the cages as hard as I humanly can.
I think hero and leader are 2 separate things.
He just said hero.
Please don't throw me in there.
I'm gonna just start running.
Athletics?
Sorry, roll athletics.
Don't do it.
Me?
No, not you. Ooh.
The lowest athletics roll I've ever had.
Yeah. You only get him a solid 10 feet. He kind of stumbles, rolls, and then comes to a stop just outside of the pens.
I just push him over.
And I'm gonna go ahead and use my shard blade to break the pins.
All right. You'll see a couple other Parshmen kind of rushing in, and then they see the shard blade, and then they start backing up pretty fast.
It's fucking right.
As you do, the wind is crashing over on top of you. You're already starting to see the water just whipping around you as boulders tumble down around. In fact, you see one person just get completely beheaded as one whips by.
Run! Get to safety!
I will
Hold them off.
Where are we gonna go? You hear a couple questions. Roll perception checks.
We'll apparate air into a hammer, and I will start playing baseball while we run,
Perception.
hitting back any boulder that I can or breaking them as much as I can to try to keep debris down.
Gappy.
What was that?
Perception.
Evan talks sexy to the storm.
Come on, Garrick, baby.
I'm worried that if I talk sexy to the storm, that
You
thing
want to roll your-
inside me
okay,
is
come on,
going
ignore-
to come out.
Ignore Raphael's roll. She didn't roll it.
All right. In any case,
Much better.
regardless, Luis, you look over and see a storm bunker not too far away. It's about maybe 5 minutes ish, but the storm is going to be pretty much down upon you guys at that point.
Can you scroll through our spell sheets?
What are we doing?
Well,
Question: is there any way to use any sort of movement travel to move large groups of people, or is it only a select amount of people I can move?
Yeah, that's too many people.
Okay. Is there a way I could move the actual terrain itself, maybe? If there's like, with this kind of rocky soil or anything, is there a way to like make one of those half dome covers so at least it offers some protection?
Well, he said there's a
That-
bunker.
Oh, there is a bunker. Never mind. Forget that.
Yeah, it's about 5 minutes away, so it'll be in the midst of the storm, so there's just some risk related to it. But
I mean, it's
it's
better
there.
than nothing. Yeah. We should start directing people.
I mean,
I'll go
I'd
do-
love to know about it, but as far as I know, you guys are the only two that know about it.
Would I know about that as well, or was that just Luis?
Pretty much just Luis, but he shouted for them people to go
Oh.
in that direction. So
I'll hop down and start help directing the crowd towards where that bunker is, and just say, "Run as fast as you fucking can.
And I will provide cover with a
Run
large
fast as your stormman can, because fuck is not a word here."
It can be.
storm.
People don't storm.
They
They
could.
fuck.
Want to go out there and have some
People
storm?
engage in coitus.
What?
People engage in coitus.
Coitus?
Coitus.
That's what sex is in this world, is coitus?
No, that's just the actual word for it.
That's the plan, though. Not fucking, but directing people.
I mean, depending on how many survive, that's
I would
you
have
might
been
fucked
so
people
concerned
over.
if our immediate plan was quite literally fuck it.
You know what I mean.
Jesus. Alrighty. Yeah, you all will start to slowly but surely direct the crowd towards the storm bunker. Go ahead and roll persuasion checks just to see how clear you are.
Was that for everyone?
Mm-hmm.
Persuasion.
Nice natural 20. Fuck, I'm not
I
gonna
might
even
not be
try.
the brightest, but I can make words sound pretty.
Yep, you are exceedingly clear as you will begin to slowly but surely direct people in the correct area. So you pretty much don't have any strays, which means you are moving along pretty well.
Just keep breaking rocks while I run. Keep that protection up.
That's a pleasant picture. Look at those
Oh, yeah.
eyes.
The hell
The
is it?
eyes.
That was what you saw getting
Freshman,
shoved into the tiny little pipe
Oh.
when you were chasing it before.
The Parmesan man.
Stop. This is serious. They can't
Parchment
be
is
known
being
as the
auto-corrected to
Parmesans.
Parmesans.
The Parmesans.
Capable
The
dogs.
Parmesans.
Oh, by the way, I did drop the link in the
Parmesan.
Discord, so that way, when we do have session next, I'll have the notes written there. They're not
New link shop.
super detailed, but
They're there.
they're there. Wow,
Alrighty.
how many back?
Almost none.
Alrighty, so you guys are getting them pretty much all in at this point. You bust open the storm door and begin pushing people in as the high storm is officially hitting you. You're having to just keep yourself from being pulled off your feet. Go ahead and make dex saves.
Who opens the door out of curiosity to the bunker?
Whomever. I don't really care too much.
I kick it down. I just go, somebody wants to.
Sorry, I have a rat brain.
This bunker's gonna owe me.
As you do, the massive group starts making their way inside.
Is it Parchendi as well, or is it just?
No, this one's pretty much just humans. Parshendi can survive in storms. You know.
I forget.
You're good. In any case, as you do another perception check from the trio of you. Luis, by the way, you get knocked off your feet and flung about 20 feet off to the left.
What kind of check again?
I'm flying.
Perception in it.
Thanks. Accept.
All right. Garrick, Raphael, you will each hear, well, actually mostly see, as while most people are filtering in pretty well, there was a group of what look like kind of the more elderly that are trying to make their way in. And as you're about to go for them, you see just above Kaladin as he seems to kind of crash down into the ground beside them.
Fuck, inside the bunker?
No. This is about 100 feet away from
him.
It's about 100 feet away from the bunker. There's just a group of particularly slow people that were on their way that didn't quite make it in yet. But
If you go, it's probably good.
it's at this point that you'll hear a couple things. Number one, you'll have heard before this point, Stormfather, Spren of Storms, turn yourself aside. There are people below. Stormfather, you must listen to me. As everything seems to grow still, for you all included. You stand in a strange space, a place that seemed outside of reality. The ground was far beneath you, dim and slicked with rain, but barren and empty, and you hung in the air. Not lashed. The air was simply solid beneath you all. Who are you to make demands of the storm, son of honor? You see the Stormfather's face as white as the sky, dominating like the sunrise. You see Kaladin hold his sword aloft. I know you for what you are, Stormfather, a Spren like Syl. I am the memory of a god. The fragment of that remains. The soul of a storm and the mind of eternity. Then surely, with that soul, mind, and memory, you can find mercy for the people below. And what of the hundreds of thousands who have died in these winds before? Should I have had mercy for them? Yes. And the waves that swallow and the fires that consume, you would have them stop. I speak only of you, only today, please. You hear thunder rumbling, and for a moment it seems as if the Stormfather actually seemed to consider the request. It is not something I can do, son of Tanavast. If the wind stops blowing, it is not a wind. It is nothing. But as you all drop back into the power of the Tempest, it seems as if no time had passed at all. You will see. Well, you guys are a bit too far away, but it seems like Kaladin's having a conversation with Syl real quick. Couple things. Number one, you all are stoked with Stormlight because you're in the middle of a storm right now. So you're feeling just this constant thrumming in your heart. Secondly, you will see as he hits the ground, he seizes the form of a father clutching his son and pulls them up, holding them secure, trying to run them towards the building. Nearby, another person he couldn't really see much of was torn away in a gust of wind and taken into the darkness. You all will hear this in a relatively shrill voice. You haven't heard it in a while, but you will hear still, Kaladin, you can't save them all. You see him scream as he grabbed another person and began holding her tight as he walked with them, stumbling in the wind as a cluster of people huddled together, maybe 24 or more. See Kaladin pull the three he was helping, the father, child, and woman, over to the others. You can't stay out here, he shouted. Together, you have to walk this way. See, with effort, winds howling, rain pelting like daggers, he got the group moving across the stony ground, arm in arm. Began making good progress until a boulder crunched the ground nearby, sending some of them huddling down in panic. The wind rose, lifting some people, only clutched by the hands of others to keep them from blowing away. Kaladin seemed to blink away tears that mingled with rain as he bellowed. Nearby, a flash of light illuminated a man being crushed as portions of a wall ripped away and towed his body off into the storm. Kaladin, I'm sorry. Being sorry isn't enough. He clutched one arm onto a child, his face towards the storm and terrible winds. In that moment, you began to feel your connection sharpen with him, and you could actually see inside of him for a moment. Why did it destroy? The tempest shaped them. Must it ruin them too? Consumed by his pain and feelings of betrayal, Kaladin surged with Stormlight, flung his hands forward as if to try to push back the wind itself. You all snapped back to yourself as hundreds of wind sprints spun in lines of light, twisting around his arms and wrapping it like ribbons. They surged with light and then exploded outward in a blinding sheet, sweeping Kaladin's sides and parting the wind around him. Kaladin stood with his hands towards the tempest and deflected it. Like a stone in a swift-moving river stopped the waters, he opened a pocket in the storm, creating a calm wake behind him. The storm raged against him, but he held the point of this formation of windspren that spread out behind him like wings, diverting the storm. He managed to turn his head as the storm battered him. People huddled behind him, soaked and confused, surrounded by calm. And this is when he sees you all and nods. You have your in.
Fucking taking it.
All right. Rushing forward, you help the group into the bunker as you hear Kaladin shouting, "Go, go!" As they found their feet, young father taking his son back from Kaladin's leeward arm, Kaladin backed up with them, maintaining the windbreak. His group was only some of those trapped by the wind, and it took everything Kaladin had just to hold the tempest. The wind seemed angry at him for his defiance. All it would take is one boulder. A figure with glowing red eyes landed on the field before him and began to advance, but the people had finally reached the bunker. You see Kaladin sigh as he releases the wind, and the spren behind him scattered. Exhausted, Kaladin nodded to the three of you as the bunker doors closed. He spread his arms and let the wind take him. What are y'all doing?
Well, first I'm gonna get back up on my feet and get inside where I'm safe. I fell down. I blew away.
Yes. You also just watched your fearless leader blow away in the wind to escape the three red-eyed figures who are approaching.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't take cover inside
No, I
the
was like, I agree.
bunker
That's
with
a
all the
terrible
Well,
Yes.
then maybe I misunderstood something, but if they're red-eyed terrors, I'm gonna go after them.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Dex save, please.
You're running through the storm.
And running, running, and running, running, and running, running, and running, running, and running, running.
Okay.
And running.
You narrowly avoid a massive boulder that slams right in front of you. About another foot forward and you would have died.
Well, fuck.
Died instantly.
For the way that your spells work. Is there any way that you can incorporate that in? Perhaps.
I genuinely don't think so.
You can't
I-
lash.
All right, well
Dude,
then
get in the
I'm gonna.
door.
I guess I'm gonna go back to cover.
I was like, we don't have a choice, unfortunately, right now.
Okay. You all get into the bunker and watch as the 3 red figures approach.
I'm gonna keep my sword drawn.
Yeah, probably a good time to do that. If mine's not drawn already, I'll also draw mine.
The fact that they don't have to worry about it is a problem.
Uh-huh.
Can you teleport creatures away from us?
Can you flip over to my character?
Who's ready for a fight?
I think that if I were to use, say, can you click on cohesion for me? No, that's for materials. Sorry.
Click
I
on
think it has to be like a dex save, I'm pretty sure, if I were to try to do someone who's unwilling. That's for shifting and molding the actual earth around it, which I could try. I don't know if their feet are actually touching the ground or if they're using the wind. Yeah, that's my only problem. If their feet aren't touching the ground, I can't really do that. I mean, this allows for some things to be moved distances.
You know, you can also just
If
teleport.
they're unwilling, they need to make a DC. Yeah.
You can also just teleport Kaladin to us. That's what you could have done. I don't know if that's touch though. Is it? Is it touch?
I think it's sight. I don't know if I'd be able to see Kaladin with all of the wind going on right now.
That's the
Also,
DM.
roll an insight check, everybody.
I can do that.
Yikes. I hope you guys are
Oh.
smarter than
Well, I rolled it twice, but I don't think in either sense it's gonna help.
Boy.
We are not
Alright.
I'm insightful.
What are we doing, guys?
Is it possible to still see Kaladin right now from where we're at? Or no?
Kaladin, just again to be clear of the scene, Kaladin looked back at you, saw that everybody was in safely, nodded, and then let himself be taken by the wind in the opposite direction of these assholes.
Yep.
Yeah. If we were to go into this storm, we are taking damage, right?
Not immediately.
Okay, I think I
And-
get the general direction where we need to go with this.
Also,
Attack.
also probably not if you're with a windrunner. Or alternatively, at this point, you guys could just fuck off because Kaladin seems to be out of harm's way now.
Yeah, but the people aren't, and that's the issue we run into.
Yet, but how are you going to handle about 500 people?
Well.
So did we just put them in a bunker to be slaughtered then?
They were not being killed before. They were just being confined in an area.
I mean, they were going to be killed if they were left out there. To be fair,
But
so
they were
regardless, yes,
they were
being
going to be
no matter
killed
what.
if they were left out there.
Question for
Can I
God.
just jump in
Yes.
while we commit
Question for God here.
genocide?
Oh, wait, go ahead.
I,
You can go first.
I'm just saying, did I show up and we're committing genocide?
Yeah.
No, we're figuring out the logistics of the situation.
Probably situations with mass amounts of people. Take that as you will. But question for God here. If I were to leave these people, does that feel like something that is inherently bad for my oath?
No, you did your best to free them, but
Since we technically did arrest, could I transport us with our bracelets if we need to get out of here?
you could indeed.
Again, it's
I'm
that
gonna
long
look at-
rest was not
I'm gonna
worthless.
look at Garrick
Did you
and
teleport
Luis is in my
yourself
sight,
over to
right?
Kaladin and teleport your
Kaladin
bag?
basically gave us the signal saying, "Don't worry about me. I'll be fine."
Yeah. And also, Luis, are you within a range distance for this to work?
I mean, I ran back to cover because I almost got crushed
He's
by a
not-
boulder. It was a real nice boulder, but a boulder nonetheless.
I'll look at both of you guys and say, okay, I
Just
think
put it
right
over.
now
It's a rock.
best option is to get out. Is everyone in agreement as I hold up the bracelet?
Yeah, you don't got much of another option.
I really wish
Well,
we could
we
send
found Kaladin, but we were supposed to bring him back. That was kind of our assignment. And now we got these red-eye fellas who are going to probably attack these fellas. So I think we should weather this storm.
Ah,
It's my opinion.
You were
get
suggesting to
totally
fight 3 of the
going with that,
Voidbringers.
but
Yes.
we could alternatively use our bracelets since we can set a designation in mind, right? We could just slap our bracelets and say we want to go to where Kaladin is, yeah?
You
Well,
could certainly try.
theoretically, try.
It could potentially work.
But the problem with that is it'll be in the high storm, where we will be thrown around and probably dead.
Sounds like you need to come back and get the homies.
I mean, it is Kaladin, so chances are maybe we could be able to have a retrieval with the rest of the group to grab Kaladin. So
As
I
a meta thing,
assume.
we could just send one person,
I
go
don't want
back
to leave
and
you
get the
two alone.
homies,
I'm sorry.
and have the
I wanna
other
come
two
back
try and
to the
hold them
full group.
off.
I'm not going to leave you two alone. That's just not happening. You guys are going to
terrible
kill each
idea.
other.
That's an awful idea.
Or I
I will
don't
stop the
stay.
bracelet, as long as no one has disagreed. Do I hear any
Teleport.
no's?
Time's up.
1, 2, 3, slap.
All right. Where are you trying to go?
Back to headquarters.
Back to
Yeah.
Uruthiru.
Cool. You all pop into Uruthuru.
But we didn't get Kaladin, and those people are doomed. Why
I
did you
think that
do
we did
this?
I put my hand on
the
his
best
shoulder,
we
and it's
could.
all your fault, fearless leader.
I disagreed with this. I
Wait a
did
minute.
not consent.
Wait, team leader. Since you are, in fact, our leader, would you like to give this information to Delinar?
You think he
I'm
should be
feeling
the
a
one
little
that has to do it?
nerves, you know.
I'm gonna go to bed.
We
Good
did
luck.
get pretty injured. I feel like out of all of us, you're probably the healthiest right now. If you want to deliver that news, that would be superb.
Pat him on the shoulder, and I go to find everyone else. Good luck, leader.
I'll start following after Garrick, immediately turn around. Actually, I feel a little bad about this. I'll help
Meta,
Louise.
you should go
No,
because you're
no.
first.
You go to your room. You dragged me back here before our mission was done. You get out of my sight.
You sure you don't want some help delivering
Nope.
the news?
Not at all.
Hey, so what's your passive perception? Just curious.
Yeah, you brush those teeth, D. You brush them.
Can you look at my stealth? I'm gonna wholeheartedly agree with your plan and attempt to stealth behind you. But you don't know that, I hope.
Pretty good.
I disappear into your shadow. I'm going to partake in this news delivery.
We all walk the same direction. Oh god damn it, they're still here.
As you walk in, you'll see freshly rested, in fresh, nice clothes, Pelinar, Lowell, and Varix standing at attention, about to receive orders.
Grace, to be fair, I was actually going to find them, so I would have just popped in like 2 minutes later. I'm like, and it leads me right back here. Always leads me right back to him.
Son of a bitch.
You 3 roll perception checks.
Okay. Computer still loading up. What do I do with my
Oh wait, which
modifier?
3?
Was it us?
Holy
Uh,
shit!
Doesn't
Natural
really-
19 with real dice.
Wait, that's
Ha-
3?
I imagine his deal. Well, regardless, yeah, Raphael, you didn't do it. Strangely enough, nobody's able to really spot Raphael, who is just seamlessly
Oh,
blending into the
With
shadows.
my own stealth? Can
Just
I
rolled
see
real
me?
high.
I don't think I can see me.
I don't think you exist anymore.
I'm God, guys.
And that's when you come to realize that you are melded into the stone itself.
No.
How did you do
That's
It's
not
the
my-
Midas touch.
I thought that Luis was in charge of elements.
You got something called cohesion.
I do also have that. I rarely use it though.
You got the swim from fruit.
In any case, you'll see Dalinar look up. Oh, you 3 are back. What do you have to report?
So we went.
Horrors
and
beyond
did
human
find Kelly.
comprehension.
He was trying to rescue a bunch of people that were captured by some Pashmen and some Voidbringers. Well, then a high storm hit, and well, we tried to save the people and got them to a small cabin. And then 3 Voidbringers were still approaching us, and I wanted to stand and fight them because Kaladin got blown away by the storm, and I wanted to stay and protect the people. Well, those 2 numbnuts dragged us back here, and so we haven't quite completed the bringing Kaladin back part of our quest. So I think I need you to go back out there.
I'm about this close to just starting the biggest fire in this campaign by stabbing this motherfucker through the back of the shard blade, I swear to God.
Don't stab him in the back. I'm right there. Dude,
To the front.
always the front.
He doesn't deserve it. Scars in the back are a swordsman's shame.
I'm
Okay.
gonna softly pat Luis on the shoulder, poke my head up. I think that the retrieval mission might need a couple more hands. And, you know, we went through quite a ragged storm, so we might need to rest a little. We
Okay.
did touch base with Kaladin, so we completed that part of the mission.
So
We know his general whereabouts. That part of the mission is also complete. Just the retrieval part. We might have missed that.
So just to clarify, Captain Kaladin was doing what prior?
He was fighting with what looked like a bunch of Voidbringers trying to rescue a group of people who were locked in a cage when we found him.
And prior to that?
Prior to
He
that, he was
was
tracking down the Parshendi, right? The Parshendi thieves that stole the carts.
Yes, there was some Parshmen who had escaped slavery and were conscious and talking, and they had stolen a cat. He went after him, and then we followed him into the mountain slide. And well, then the rest of the story, including these guys dragging us back here before we could get Kaladin and bring him back here too.
Okay, so it sounds as if Kaladin had no access to Stormlight until the high storm came by. At which point he decided to engage the enemy because they were about to store a bunch of humans outside in the middle of a high storm.
Right.
And your proposition to save these 500 people?
My proposition to save these 500 people we had gotten in my proposition was that we would fight them and or have one of them come back and get the rest of us so that we could fight them off and protect the people. But I was dragged back here against my will there.
And how were you planning on removing 500 people from deep enemy territory?
That we hadn't made it to. It was kind of a work in progress plan. But I figured if we could get rid of the Voidbringers and wait out the high storm, Kaladin might come back and help us with that part of the plan.
He was suggesting 2 of us tried to basically commit suicide while locked in with 500 other people, while 1 person escaped and brought everyone else back to die inside of the same area. That is essentially the plan, sir. This is what I've been dealing with the past 2 days. I am sorry we failed.
You
At least the back half of it.
I think we have
No, to
bring
to
on
clarify, at this point, you have not failed. Kaladin has been allowed to make his way through the storm, which means he'll have unlimited supply of Stormlights, which
Just
means he
like
should be
Sleep.
arriving somewhere in the realm of the next day, maybe less.
Hopefully.
So, well done. Job successful. You look like shit. Go to sleep.
He's been napping this whole time, sir.
I do not care. I need you out of my face.
Garrick is
Maybe I
obviously
can
the most
use
tired person out of the group. He's got like the largest fucking circles under his eyes, and he's just like, sir.
I think nap sounds great. We'll do that, sir.
It's the smiling friends gif all over again. Just
You heard him, you
Okay,
lazy
Desmond.
Get back off to bed.
I
If they're supposed
absolutely
to
will.
make me not want to
I
kill
deserve a good
myself,
night's sleep. I used a big, strong voice to direct so many of those people. Thank you. I partook in success.
Yes, you did. You were very helpful, Raphael. Thank you for helping organize the people. But you shouldn't have taken me back here. We should have fought those guys. We could have won.
You know what?
Been great.
You keep that enthusiasm for next time. And also the word no when I ask if anyone would not like to agree with my idea, since I am in fact a great ideal creator. I use fancy words. That's what I do. And I get places fast.
Right.
I might not hit stuff very well. That's what you guys are for.
Well, I'm gonna do some more carving, and I just walk away because that was my order.
Rhodesians.
Anyways, back in the throne room, having well, not throne room, the meeting room, having witnessed whatever the hell that was, you all turn back to Dalinar. Right. Well, sorry, Navani, what was on the docket today? As
Oh, what'd she figure out down there? I'm curious.
nothing yet. We've just managed to set up our stations. We'll be doing a great deal of research over the next coming months.
Well, tell me it wasn't fucking crazy.
No, yeah, there's a lot of blood.
Yeah, we didn't do that.
Oh,
That was there when we got there.
oh.
What more concerning?
Yeah, O is right. That's what we said. It was more like, oh my, that's a lot of blood, but you get what I'm saying.
Yes. All right.
Look at all
Dalinar
the
is going
countries
to.
they're for, and you try.
Dalinar's going to look over at you, and he's going to kind of cock his head. Well, for the moment, I'm not going to need you. Taravangian and his retinue are going to be arriving here within 8 hours, so I would like to have the Knights Radiant to at least greet him prior. So, I suppose enjoy your 8 hours. I'll see you soon.
Oh, sweet.
Taravangian.
Trace, what is the word that Dalinar is doing to make peace between the two? Well, not two, but between the other neighboring countries and whatnot to get everyone on the same side.
What do you mean?
Like his peaceful war talk. What's that called?
Oh, not
Or I said treaty.
delegation.
Is treaty okay? I'm gonna put treaty.
Well, yeah, I mean just politicking, but yeah.
Politics. Fucking politics.
I'm gonna say talking about research and politics. That sounds good.
Oh.
All right, sorry.
No, you're good. As you all go about your day, Mr. Garrick, as you start to gently be like, "Oh, nice moment of sleep," you'll hear just a soft chuckle from as the
God
ring
damn it.
reactivates.
I'm choosing not to look at you this time. Fuck you.
If you remember correctly, last vision you had, it was Dalinar at the rift being commensurately dumped down into it by a trap set by baiting him into the area where the catapults are. At which point he fell down through about 100 feet worth of homes built onto the side of the cliff. And we pick back up.
This is young Dalinar.
Yeah. So last thing you remember, no, Dalinar shouted to Gavilar, "Stay back, it's a..." The enemy must have been waiting for a moment that he shouted. The ground fell out from beneath him. Dalinar caught a glimpse of Gavilar, held back by Sadeas, looking in horror as Dalinar, Thaka, and the handful of other elites were dropped into the rift. Storms, the entire section of stone where they'd been standing, the lip hanging out over the rift, had broken free. As the large section of rock tumbled down the first building, Dalinar was flung into the air above the city. Everything spun around him. A moment later, he crashed into the building with an awful crunch. Something hit it hard, Something hard hit his arm, an impact so powerful he heard his armor there shatter. The building failed to stop him. He tore right through the wood and continued, helm grinding against the stone, yet as he somehow came in contact with the side of the rift. He hit another surface with a loud crunch. Blessedly, here he finally stopped. He groaned, feeling a sharp pain from his left hand. He shook his head and found himself staring upwards some 50 feet through a shattered section of near vertical wooden city. The large section of falling rock had torn a swath through the city along the steep inclines, smashing homes and walkways. Dalinar had been flung just to the north, and it had eventually come to rest on the wooden roof of a building. He didn't see signs of his men, Thaka and the other elites, but without Shardplate, he growled, anger sprin boiling around him like pools of blood. He shifted on the roof, and then the pain in his hand made him wince. His armor all the way down his left arm had shattered, and in falling he appeared to have broken a few of his fingers. His shard plate leaked glowing white smoke from 100 fractures, but the only piece he'd lost completely were from his left arm and hand. Though he gingerly pried himself from the rooftop, but as he shifted, he broke through and fell into the home. He grunted as he hit, members of a family screaming and pulling back against the wall. Tanalan apparently hadn't told the people of his plan to crush a section of his own city in a desperate attempt to deal with the enemy shard bearers. Dalinar got to his feet, ignoring the cowering people, and shoved open the door, breaking it with the strength of his push, and stepped out onto a wooden walkway that ran before the homes on this tier of the city. A wooden walkway that a hail of arrows immediately fell upon him. He turned his right shoulder towards them, growling, shielding his eye slit as best he could while he inspected the source of the attack. 50 archers were set up on the garden platforms on the other side of the storming side of the rift from him. Wonderful. He recognized the man leading the archers, tall with an imperious bearing and stark white plumes on his helm. Who put chicken feathers on their helms? Looked ridiculous. Well, Tanalan was a fine enough fellow. Dalinar had beat him once at pawns, and Tanalan had paid the bet with 100 glowing bits of ruby, each dropped into a corked bottle of wine. Dalinar had always found that amusing. Reveling in the thrill which rose in him and drove away the pain, Dalinar charged along the walkway, ignoring arrows. Above, Sadeas was leading a force down one of the ramps outside the path of the rockfall, but it would be slow going. By the time they arrived, Dalinar intended to have a new shard blade. He charged onto the bridges that crossed the rift. Unfortunately, he knew exactly what he would do if he was preparing the city for an assault. Sure enough, a pair of soldiers hurried down the side of the rift and then used axes to attack the support posts to Dalinar's bridge. It had soulcast metal ropes holding it up, but if they could get those posts down, dropping the ropes holding it up, they could get dropping the lines. His weight would surely cause the entire thing to fall. The bottom wash of the rift was easily another 100 feet below. Growling, Dalinar made the only choice he could and threw himself off the side of the walkway, dropping the short distance onto one below. It looked sturdy enough. Even so, one foot smashed through the wooden planks, nearly followed by his entire body. He heaved himself up and continued running across. 2 more soldiers reached the post holding up this bridge and began frantically hacking away. The walkway shook beneath Dalinar's feet. Stormfather, he didn't have much time, but there was no more walkways within jumping distance. Dalinar pushed himself into a run, roaring, his footfalls cracking the boards. A single black arrow fell from above, swooping like a sky eel, and dropped onto one of the soldiers. Another arrow followed, hitting the second one, even as he grinned, pulling to a stop. As he gawked at his fallen ally. The walkway stopped shaking, and Dalinar grinned, pulling to a stop. He turned and spotted the man near the top of the sheared-off section of stone above. He lifted a black bow towards Dalinar. Taleb, you storming miracle, Dalinar said. He reached the other side and plucked the axe from the hands of a dead man. Then he charged the ramp to where he'd seen the High Lord Tanalon. He found that place easily, a wide wooden platform built on the struts connecting parts of the wall below, and draped with vines blooming rock buds. Lifespren scattered as Dalinar reached it. Centered in the garden, Tanalon waited with a force of some 50 soldiers, puffing inside his helmet. Dalinar stepped up to confront them. Tanalon was armored in simple steel, no shard plate, though the brutal-looking shard blade, wide with a hooked tip, appeared in his grasp. Tanalon barked for his soldiers to stand back and lowered their bows. He strode towards Dalinar, holding up the shard blade with both hands. Everyone always fixated on shard blades. Specific weapons had lore dedicated to them, and people traced which kings or bright lords had carried which sword. Well, Dalinar had used both plate and blade, and if given the choice of one, he'd pick plate every time. All he needed to do was get one solid hit on Tanalon, and the fight would be over. The High Lord, however, had to contend with a foe who could resist his blows. The thrill thrummed inside Dalinar. Standing between two squat trees, he set his stance, keeping his exposed left arm pointed away from the High Lord while gripping the axe in his gauntleted right. Though it was a war axe, it felt like a child's plaything. "You should not have come here, Dalinar," Tanalon said. His voice bore a distinctively nasal accent common to this region. The Rifters always had considered themselves a people apart. "We have no quarrel with you or yours." "You refuse to submit to the king," Dalinar said, armor plates clinking as he rounded the High Lord while trying to keep an eye on the soldiers. He wouldn't put it past them to attack once he was distracted in the duel. It was what he himself would have done. "The king?" Tanalon demanded, anger sprint boiling up around him. "There hasn't been a throne in Alethkar for generations. Even if you were to have a king again, who's to say that the Kholins deserve the mantle?" "The way I see it," Dalinar said, "the people of Alethkar deserve to have a king who's the strongest and most capable of leading them in battle. If only there were some way to prove that." He grinned inside his helm. Tanalon attacked, sweeping with his shard blade, trying to leverage his superior reach. Dalinar danced back, waiting for his moment. The thrill was a heady rush, a lust to prove himself. But he needed to be cautious. Ideally, Dalinar would prolong this fight, relying on his plate's superior strength and stamina it provided. Unfortunately, the plate was still leaking, and he had all these guards to deal with. Still, he tried to play it as Tanalon would expect, dodging attacks and acting as if he were going to drag out the fight. Tanalon growled and came in again. Dalinar blocked the blow with his arm and then made a perfunctory swing with his axe. Tanalon dodged back easily. Stormfather, that blade was long, almost as tall as Dalinar was. Dalinar maneuvered, brushing against the foliage of the garden. He couldn't even feel the pain of his broken fingers anymore. The thrill called to him. "Wait. Act like you're drawing this out as long as possible." Tanalon advanced again, and Dalinar dodged backwards, faster because of his plate. And when Tanalon tried his next attack, Dalinar ducked toward him. He deflected the shard blade with his arm again, but this blow hit his hand and shattered the arm plate. Still, Dalinar's surprise rush had let him lower his shoulder and slam it against Tanalon. The High Lord's armor clinked, bending before the force of a shard plate, and the High Lord tripped. Unfortunately, Dalinar was off balance just enough from his rush to fall alongside the High Lord. The platform shook as they hit the ground, the wood cracking and groaning. Damnation! Dalinar had not wanted to go to the ground while surrounded by foes. Still, he had to stay inside the reach of the blade. Dalinar dropped off his right gauntlet. Without the arm piece connecting it to the rest of the armor, it was simple dead weight. As the two of them twisted in a heap, he lost the axe, unfortunately. The High Lord battered against Dalinar with the pommel of his sword, to no effect. But with one hand broken and the other lacking the power of plate, Dalinar couldn't get a good hold on his foe. Dalinar rolled, finally positioning himself above Tanalon, where the weight of the shard plate would keep his foe pinned. At that moment, though the other soldiers attacked, just as he expected. Honorable duels like this, on a battlefield at least, lasted only until your light eyes was losing. Dalinar rolled free. The soldiers weren't ready for how quickly he responded. He got to his feet and scooped up his axe, then lashed out with his right arm. His right arm still had the pauldron and down to the elbow brace, so when he swung, he had power. A strange mix of shard-enhanced strength and frailty from his own exposed arms. He had to be careful not to snap his own wrist. He dropped the 3 men with a flurry of axe slices, and the others backed away, blocking him with pole arms as their fellows helped Tantalon to his feet. You speak of the people, Tantalon said hoarsely, gauntleted hand clutching his chest where the Curtis had been bent significantly by Dalinar's rush. He seemed to be having trouble breathing. As if it were about them. As if it were for their good that you loot and pillage and murder, you uncivilized brute. You can't civilize war, Dalinar said. There's no painting it up and making it look pretty. You don't have to pull sorrow behind you like a sledge on stones, scraping and crushing those you pass. You're a monster. I'm a soldier, Dalinar said, eyeing Tantalon's men, many of whom were preparing their bows. Tantalon coughed. My Cinia is lost. My plan has failed. But I can do Alethkar one last service. I could take you down, you bastard. Archers started to loose. Dalinar roared, throwing himself to the ground, hitting the platform with the weight of shard plate. The wood cracked around him, weakened already by the fighting earlier, and he broke through it, shattering struts underneath. The platform came crashing down around him, and together they fell to the tier below. Dalinar heard screams as he hit the next walkway hard enough to daze him, even in shard plate. Dalinar shook his head, groaning, and found his helm cracked right down the front. The uncommon vision granted by the armor spoiled, and he pulled the helm free with one hand, gasping for breath. Storm, his good arm hurt now too. He glanced at it and found splinters piercing his skin, including one chunk as long as a dagger. He grimaced. Below, a few remaining soldiers who had been positioned to cut down bridges came charging towards him. Steady, Dalinar. Be ready. He got to his feet, dazed, exhausted. But the 2 soldiers didn't come for him. They huddled around Tantalon's body, where it had fallen from the platform above. The soldiers grabbed him and then fled. Dalinar roared and awkwardly gave pursuit. His plate moved slowly, and he stumbled through the wreckage of the fallen platform, trying to keep up with the soldiers. The pain from his arms made him mad with rage, but the thrill drove him forward. He would not be beaten. He would not stop. Tantalon's shard blade had not appeared beside his body. That meant that his foe still lived. Dalinar had not yet won. Fortunately, most of the soldiers had been positioned to fight on the other side of the city. The side was practically empty, save for the huddled townspeople. He had caught glimpses of them hiding in their homes. Dalinar limped up the ramps alongside the side of the rift, following men dragging their bright lord. Near the top, 2 soldiers set their burden down beside an exposed portion of the chasm's rock wall. They did something that caused a portion of the wall to open inward, revealing a hidden door. They towed their fallen bright lord into it, and 2 other soldiers, responding to their frantic call, rushed out to meet Dalinar, who arrived moments later. Helmless, Dalinar saw red as he engaged them. They bore weapons, he did not. They were fresh, he had wounds on nearly incapacitating both of his arms. The fight still ended with 2 soldiers on the ground, broken and bleeding. Dalinar kicked open the hidden door, plated legs functioning enough to smash it down. He lurched into a small tunnel with diamond spheres glowing on the walls. That door was covered in hardened crim on the outside, making it seem like part of the wall. If he hadn't seen them enter, it would have taken days, maybe weeks, to locate this place. At the end of a short walk, he found 2 soldiers that he had followed, judging by the blood trail. They disposed their bright lord in the closed room behind them. They rushed Dalinar with a fatalistic determination of men who knew that they were probably dead. The pain in Dalinar's arms had seemed nothing before the thrill. He rarely felt so strong as he did now, a beautiful clarity. It was such a wonderful emotion. He ducked forward, supernaturally quick, and used his shoulder to crush one soldier against the wall. The other fell to a well-placed kick, and Dalinar burst through the door behind them. Tanalana lay on the ground, blood surrounding him. A beautiful woman was draped across him, weeping. Only one other person was in the small chamber, a young boy, 6, perhaps even 7. Tears streaked the child's face as he struggled to lift his father's shard blade in 2 hands. Dalinar loomed in the doorway. "You can't have my daddy," the boy said, his words distorted in his sorrow. Pain spren crawled around the floor. "You can't. You. His voice fell to a whisper. "Daddy said we fight monsters, and with faith we'll win." The vision seems to darken around you. And for a moment you think you're going to be kicked out, only to reappear a moment later. As it seems a few hours later, Dalinar sat on the edge of the rift, his legs swinging over the broken city below. A new shard blade rested across his lap. His plate, deformed and broken, was in a heap beside him. His arms were bandaged, but he chased away the surgeons. He stared out at what seemed to be an empty plain, and then flicked his eyes towards the sign of human life below. Dead bodies in heaps, broken buildings, splinters of civilization. Gavilar eventually walked up, trailed by 2 bodyguards from Dalinar's elites, Kadash and Febin today. Gavilar waved them back. He groaned, settling down beside Dalinar, removing his helm. Exhaustion spren hung overhead, though despite his fatigue, Gavilar looked thoughtful. With those keen, pale green eyes, he always seemed to know so much. Growing up, Dalinar had simply assumed that his brother would always be right in whatever he said or did. Aging hadn't much changed his opinion on the man. "Congratulations," Gavilar said, nodding towards the blade. "Sadeas is irate. It wasn't him. He'll find one of his own one day. He's too ambitious for me to believe otherwise." Gavilar grunted. "This attack nearly cost us too much. Sadeas is saying that we need to be more careful, not risk ourselves or our shards in solitary assaults." "Sadeas is smart," Dalinar said, reached gingerly with his right hand, the less mangled one, and raised a mug of wine to his lips. It was the only drug he cared for, the pain. And maybe it would help with the shame, too. Both feelings seemed stark, now that the thrill had receded and left him deflated. "What do we do with them, Dalinar?" Gavilar asked, waving down towards the crowds of civilians the soldiers were rounding up. "Tens of thousands of people. They won't be cowed easily. They won't like that you killed their High Lord and his heir. Those people will resist us for years. I could feel it." Dalinar took a long drink. "Make soldiers of them. Tell them we'll spare their families if they fight for us. You want to stop doing shard-bearer assaults at the start of battle? Sounds like we'll need some expendable troops." Gavilar nodded, considering. "Sadeas is right about other things too, you know. About us, and what we're going to have to become. Don't talk to me about that, Dalinar. I lost nearly half my elites today, my captain included. I've got enough problems. Why are we fighting here? Is it for honor? Is it for Lethkar?" Dalinar shrugged. "We can't keep acting like a bunch of thugs. We can't rob every city we pass, feast every night. We need discipline. We need to hold the lands we have. We need bureaucracy, orders, laws, politics." Dalinar closed his eyes, distracted by the shame he felt. What if Gavilar found out? "We're going to have to grow up and become soft, like these High Lords we kill. That's why we started, isn't it? Because they were lazy, fat, and corrupt? I don't know anymore. I'm a father now, Dalinar. That makes me wonder what we do once we have it all. How do we make a kingdom of this place?" Storms, a kingdom. For the first time in his life, Dalinar found that idea horrifying. Gavilar eventually stood up, responding to some messengers who were calling for him. Could you at least try to be a little less foolhardy in future battles? This coming from you, a thoughtful me, an exhausted me. Enjoy, Oathbringer. You earned it. Oathbringer? Your sword. Storms, don't you listen to anything last night? That's Sunmaker's old sword. Sades, the Sunmaker, had been the last man to unite Elethkar centuries ago. Dalinar shifted the blade in his lap, letting the light play off its pristine metal. It's yours now. By the time we're done, I'll have it so that nobody thinks of Sunmaker anymore. Just House Kolin and Elethkar. He walked away. Dalinar rammed the shard blade into the stone and leaned back, closing his eyes again, remembering the sound of a brave boy crying. And you all awake.
I hate this wolf. But I asked the question, so hey.
It's the next morning, and you have that jiggling around inside your brain holes. What do?
Just as a refresher for me, because the question I asked that triggered all these was, I can't remember if it was specifically, is Dalinar worthy of being a king, or was it who is worthy of being a king?
Neither. You asked about Dalinar's past.
Oh, you're right. I did ask her Dalinar's past. Those are other things I've asked, and I got fucking cryptic ass answers. That's why.
Does Dalinar still carry Oathbringer?
No. That was the
Did it
sword
say
that
the
he.
sword?
That was
the
the sword that he gave up to buy all of you from Sadius.
Fuck yeah, I fetch a high price.
But then Sadius is dead, so where did that weapon end up?
It was found by one of you guys, actually.
Luis.
Returned. It was found by one of y'all. You returned it to Dalinar, who then returned it to Elias Sadius, who is currently occupying a section of the Ruthir. Since it is by right still in Sadius's ownership. And Eli gave it to Amaram.
Amaram?
So Amaran has 2 shards now?
Yep.
Fucking
Amaram.
God damn it. And I also just got to the part in the book that, like, Halloran, Amaran,
Mhm.
the shard blade. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yep. Alrighty. What's the plan?
When we wake up, is there news of Kaladin being back?
Not yet. That's only been about 8 hours.
Is the high storm still raging, or is it just in that one spot and it's making its way through?
So with the high storm, imagine it like a ginormous wall that is slowly making its way eastward.
Yeah.
Constantly. Just loops around the world.
Is it cycling back towards our side again then?
Yeah, it's going east.
on
So Hearthstone was like on this diagonal. Ruthir is like on this diagonal. So it's making its way.
Do we prep for that? I mean, I feel like we're pretty safe up here, right?
You are too high
Yeah.
for the storms to hit you.
Okay. Breakfast. That's the first thing I'm doing.
Biffs.
Breakfast.
Avoiding Luis at all costs.
All right. I'm presuming everybody makes their way to the mess hall for breakfast.
Yeah.
Some crunchy morning crab.
Mhm.
Gross.
Captain Crunch.
Crab and crunch.
Crab and Crunch.
Is everyone down there now?
Mm-hmm.
We're all together.
Yep.
So, I want to ask the smart boys, how did your guys' side quest go?
Or beyond human comprehension.
Did you guys also meet an Eldritch being in a dark cave?
Yes.
What?
You could call it that. I already
It's
forgot what it was
Eldritch
called.
demons, but
Does
yes.
it have 2 heads and continuously say security alert?
No, intruder alert.
Intruder alert.
and then it
With
tried to
1,000 faces
Ugh.
and 1,000 more shadowy
I only
companions.
had two. I
A
only
lot
had
of
two faces. That is a
death.
bonus.
It's true. Ours was much more like.
Although ours shot these weird beams of light that like lit things on fire and almost
feel like
fucking
ours-
murdered me.
Feels like ours was kind of.
I
You
would
know,
prefer
like,
that.
There was blood everywhere. It was kind of nice, actually.
Oh, same with us, except it was mine and Raphael's blood everywhere.
Yours was substantially more. I think I did pretty good for myself. I did a lot of running and hiding.
You know, it seems like your group has a lack of leadership. You know,
Yeah, you know,
You
actually,
could say
that's
that.
right, you say that.
We fully
Louis
agree.
over here, he's been making some strong opinions about leadership qualities, so maybe him and our group leader could get together. Wait, you are our group leader, aren't you? You're our captain.
Leader?
It would be me.
So it goes leader and then captain, right?
I don't think I've ever heard of
Leader,
Daisy and being a
vice
leader.
captain.
I had to lead these chuckle fucks out of danger. They were caught napping on the job while we were fighting the space beastie.
I mean, it sounds like you guys almost died. You
Space.
know you guys can just heal yourself with Stormlight, right?
Don't do it, Garrick. It's not. Don't do it. I see you. Don't do it. Yeah, that is true. We healed ourselves with some Stormlight. We were
Yeah.
in a place that was a little inaccessible to Stormlight, though.
Not to mention somebody kind of just let us almost die without using any of their Stormlight to try to heal us. But that's
I
just me. Isn't
tried
that
to
right,
use
great leader?
Stormlight to heal you.
You know what you should
No,
do?
you didn't. You actually almost killed us both.
You know what you
How do you know that?
Because when I woke
You
up,
were
she was
asleep.
almost dead, and you were just
Sensing
sitting
a
there.
lot of
I know.
tension in this group.
He did not respect my authority as leader, nor did he respect the fact that I got him out of a bad situation.
You know what would
I'd
be a
like to
great idea?
potentially help you guys resolve this issue.
I feel like Luis should make wood carvings of everyone in the group, so we have a little memento when we do die. You can put it on our gravestones. Can you make sure that my hair is actually as flamboyant as it looks, though, when you carve mine? It's hard to get.
I would like to start working on this carving of the whole group, except I'm going to intentionally mess up Garrick's and give him a more feminine features.
It's good to have a little side project, you know? Something to remember us by.
So I'll go ahead and roll my performance.
I'd like to help the two of you resolve your conflict issue.
A 19.
I
is
think
pretty
it's
good.
creating a lot of trauma in your group.
Also, you rolled 2d20.
Yeah, I always roll at advantage.
Hmm.
I think I'm about to just ruin the campaign. Really thinking about it.
As you guys are in the midst of this conversation about stabbing and who's leaders, who's not, you'll hear the doors open behind you as
Kaladin,
an exhausted Kaladin walks in.
mission successful.
Kaladin, you made it.
Hey.
Yeah, that was a long night.
Mhm.
I'm going to do a report and then I'm going to bed.
It's fair.
Anyways, what's been going on in your guys' lives? As you see him just shoveling a handful of food into his face.
Well,
Traumatized, and I don't think any of us really need or understand how to process that trauma, and I want to help them.
I wasn't traumatized. I got to fight a beastie.
You're filled
I
with
think he's
trauma.
more traumatized than anyone.
To be
All
fair,
right,
we did
so
run bridges
what's
for
going on from
a
last
long
time?
time.
Yeah, and I'm kind of curious what that does to a person's mind.
Me too.
Because
Me
I
too.
mean, I'm fucked up, man.
Huh.
We got to meet a genie,
What the hell's a genie?
I don't know.
a thing that grants wishes.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
I
never
can
get
I
culinary
can
sandwich, huh?
recharge Stormlight now, and then I just have to deal with the screaming voice on the inside that likes to talk about desolations.
Wait, it
Oh.
talks?
I'm gonna just stand up, and you're all thinking he's not the worst, and I'm gonna leave.
Yes,
talk
it
in-
talked to me. I recharged Stormlight again, and it kept saying desolations coming, the end, death, things like that. It's very terrifying, but I can do it.
I mean, we do all die in the end of things, so I mean, eh.
This might sound crazy, but what if I created something where we could all sit around, or maybe even one-on-one, and talk about our issue?
That sounds like things that we don't need to do right now.
Helenar,
Eh,
are you okay?
no, but I don't think any of us are.
I
I'm
feel like out of
okay.
everyone, maybe it's you that needs to share some things.
I
Did you
don't
run into
disagree.
Another incident
think-
of fire?
No. I think that everyone working out their trauma and issues would be healthier for all of us.
I'm gonna choose not to say what I'm gonna say. Give me a moment to reflect on myself.
I was tasked to do this.
Okay. Almost bled into a sarcasm answer there. That would have. Okay. Maybe we could do more. What is it called? Group trust exercises. Like the
Team
falling thing.
bonding.
Yeah, team bonding. We can do more team bonding. I'm sure that is a way to work through trauma.
I mean, that is probably one way.
Is this coming from your spren?
Partially. And partially my own moral compass.
Mhm.
I think
Well-
we all need to be better to each other.
Well, it's a good thought exercise. Explore it more. See how well it does. Let's see. So you saw a genie that did something.
Did a lot of things.
And how does that make you feel?
Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar.
And your feelings for your mother.
Wonderful, wonderful. Would you like to sit on this
And-
table?
And then your feelings for your father.
In any
Let me
case,
feeling for Paladin Jr. Don't forget about him.
I can't remember if you said it, but what was that thing down below in the depths of this place?
it was an unmade.
Unmade. Yeah, we fought one of those too.
Names. It's important German name. It starts with an R. I can't
Re-
pronounce it.
Risefir.
That. I wrote it down though. She likes to know how things work. Hey, her and Lola will get along.
Specifically, she wants to understand humans.
Her and Lowell would really get along.
Yeah. My point stands.
In any case, I was out just trying to see how things were going in Hearthstone when I followed these trucks away from the granary and found a small caravan of parshmen. They well, they were kind of hopeless on their own, so I started helping them, trying to kind of get to know them, see what was going on with everything. And it sounds like you remember those red spren that we saw in the days leading up to the Everstorm?
Yes.
Yeah. Wait, I'm not there.
Those those evidently take over and create the fused. Those creatures I was fighting before, they enter the gem heart and completely destroy the individual personality of the person inside.
Or whatever ritual chants.
So yeah, in any case, I was trying to help them out, and I went over, saw that honestly, it was just, I don't think they were trying to kill the humans. It was just very poorly managed. And let them go. Luckily, we were able to get them inside and get out without getting stabbed. So overall, not the worst outcome.
Did you end up taking on all 3 of those dudes?
Mostly I was just leading them on a
Both
chase.
do
They're
it at the same time.
they're
No.
more
I was waiting for it.
they're
I
more
realized too,
fluid.
like, phrasing.
They're more fluid in their flight, but I'm a lot faster. So
Hopefully it's a freaking high storm too. So you have a supercharged.
mhm.
Hope that a lot.
I still don't understand why the high storms don't affect them. Is it just something that's like genetically different?
They're just a lot tougher.
It built
They have
different.
they have thick carapace. They're, in fact, if I was correct in my conversations with them, too, they could switch their form, the form that they take. So, say war form, like the Parshendi we were fighting on the Shattered Plains, or the storm form, the one that they had when they were shooting lightning. To actually switch, they have to go out during a high storm and accept a new spren into their dim heart.
Oh,
Cheating.
Which will change their form. But if they get a fused inside instead, then it will completely replace them, including their personality. So for all intents and purposes, they die.
that's actually horrendous. Wow. Well, I mean, at least we're not gonna feel bad about killing them, I suppose, when we do fight them. Still,
Well,
You just said has a lot to unpack.
I'm being honest.
in any case, I think that it's time for me to report and go to bed. So good luck, gentlemen. Let me know if you need anything. I'll be around for a little bit longer.
Sounds good.
Makes the way out.
I feel like Kaladin Sr. told us to tell Kaladin Jr. No, Kaladin himself something. Didn't he say something about that?
His dad's name is Lirin.
Yeah, Kaladin Sr. He told us to tell him
Visit?
something. Oh, just to visit? I feel like there's something else with that.
Probably. It's not right.
I think he said not to visit, actually. He was not happy when we came by. But that might have been because it was... No, that was just you and me. We're just not good with socializing. Luis talked to the other one. Dr. Dude.
Yes.
No, we talked to Dr. Dude. He talked to the High Lord.
All right. Cool. Well, with that, we'll go ahead and end session as you all are waiting on the platform for Taravangian and the Yakovetti delegation to arrive. So I will see you next week. I will not see you the following week, and I will see you the
next
following
2
week.
weeks after.
Well, see you on the 11th, and then after that, yeah, not 2 weeks after that one.
Cool.
So we are doing a session on the 11th.
When we do the refresher, when we start again, I dropped the Google Docs notes inside the D&D chat on Discord.
So we have one on the 27th, and then the 11th, and then otherwise we don't have another one until the 1st.
Yep. For a month after. Yep.
Yep.
February release.
No one killed each other. Good job, guys.
Oh, there's time.
I'm worried.
We'll see how the team building exercise goes.
I'd like to take credit for that one.
Should. You definitely should.
All right,
Good
y'all.
job. Brandon, no
Good
joke.
night.
You'll just
That
have to like
close.
pick up a little, what are they called? The icebreaker.
Good night,
night.
friends. We'll see you all next week.
No.
Good night.
Nah,
Trace, I'll see you online tomorrow. Potentially. We'll see.
well, I'll be here, but
Depending on if you get on Discord to take a break and talk or not.
yeah, Probably
It'll be
chilling.
fun. Have
You'll probably
fun.
chill out for a bit and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm just playing through." Are you playing on PC or are you playing on PlayStation?
PC.
Oh, for
So you can
the
actually stream it.
Elden
Maybe
Ring
I'll
one?
watch it. Yeah, maybe I'll have you pop it up so I can watch you fuck some shit up or die.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night, friends.
All right.